We actually tested competitors out there and honestly, we weren't happy with results at all. We weren't getting anything to the level that we would expect that we wanted and what our clients would want. A
Hmm.
lot of them had really
Different niches.
expensive. We're getting a
Yeah.
lot of healthcare clients right now. It seems like
Hmm.
healthcare is the absolute ideal industry that's utilizing conversational AI. And so we're
Hmm.
getting a lot of those, but we
We're
start off
definitely.
pretty small. We actually start off about 2 or 3 people. We've actually
Hmm.
grown to nine within the last year.
Can you give us a quick intro of your agency? Who are you and what does your agency do, basically?
Sure, Dave, you want me to take this or you?
Oh no, yeah, go ahead, Josh. Go ahead.
Okay, so our overall company is called JG Robo Marketing, and our AI service is called Action to Call. So we officially launched our brand Action to Call around November 2024, but we've actually been working with voice AI for a couple of years now. So our company has actually been around for about 11 years. We started in digital marketing first, and then we moved to more of a developer side. So we started working with back-end call center development, and then we started to focus most of our interest and our expertise in voice AI. And
Hmm.
so we're currently working with businesses that are in the healthcare, finance, real estate, plumbing. I mean, you name
Hmm.
it, we've pretty much done it.
Hmm. Got it. So like your agency is not, kind of like targeting any kind of specific niche. You're basically working with many niches right now, right? In your
Yeah, we're
agency.
working with a lot of different niches. We're getting a
Yeah.
lot of healthcare clients right now. It seems like
Hmm.
healthcare is the absolute ideal industry that's utilizing conversational AI. And so we're
Hmm.
getting a lot of those. But we're definitely not limited that. We're not really
Okay.
limited to anything. So
Hmm. And then like what's the portion of that? Like what's the distribution looks like between niches?
probably I would say over half right now. Maybe even to the 65-70% of healthcare we're probably hitting
Got
right
it.
now.
Got it. Got it. And that's just natural. Like that wasn't intended. This is
No,
like
it definitely wasn't intended. We
hmm.
started marketing towards lower level type of clients like realtors, plumbers,
Hmm.
service-based
Hmm.
industries. We still
Hmm.
get those, but we're getting a lot more exposure with the healthcare industry.
That's interesting. And also, I was wondering, like, how's the team size? How big is your team, basically?
The
So
team
like,
size, we start off pretty small. We actually start off about 2 or 3 people. We've actually
Hmm.
grown to nine within the last year or so. So we're not a large company, but something we're really focusing on just in the last month or so is focusing
Hmm.
on sales and also our development team. So we brought
Hmm.
in salespeople. We brought in Dave, who is now our sales
Hmm.
manager, who's doing an
Hmm.
absolutely awesome job, killing it.
Hmm.
And we've recently just brought in a couple new developers.
Maybe like around 10 people in your company right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, nine to 10 people. Yep.
Got it. And my next question would be, what services do you sell exactly to those clients?
Yeah, that's a good question. Dave, you can
Yeah.
probably handle that
I
better than
can
I
take
could.
this one. Yeah,
Yep.
so we started out selling like set plans to small businesses, kind of like what Josh was speaking over. But over time, we shifted our focus more towards enterprise and larger clients because even it
Hmm.
was a surprise to us, like, we thought it was low hanging fruit, but it turns out the big boys are actually the ones that are most interested in these kinds of
Hmm.
solutions. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
There's a lot
Hmm.
more hesitancy, funny enough, with the smaller companies.
Oh.
That's probably who would need it to stay
Hmm.
relevant. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But yeah,
Hmm.
so instead of fixed plans, we offer like per minute pricing. We put a lot of emphasis on integrations, custom
Hmm.
development, the things of
Hmm.
that sort. With
Hmm.
enterprise clients, there's almost always, I guess you could
Hmm.
say, like an opportunity to help them, like with
Yeah, yeah.
integrating into their systems, AI, right?
Hmm.
Which is the framework we exclusively use when it comes to all this stuff.
Hmm.
And that's where we bring most of
Hmm.
the value, right? Making sure that these AI
Hmm.
systems like seamlessly fit
Hmm.
into your existing workflow and your existing framework so that you don't have
Hmm.
to pause anything. There's no interruptions, you know?
Got it, got it. So basically what you're saying is you started off, just working with like smaller clients, smaller businesses, but it turns out that, there's a lot of hesitancy in smaller businesses, but like in enterprise clients, they're just willing to invest money into it,
To a
I
degree,
assume.
there's even sometimes when it comes to the small, there's just a lack of understanding, right? Take a tile company back in the 90s, and
Mm.
you were telling that tile company, local mom and pop, to start a website.
Mm-hmm.
And they'd be like, "Oh, we don't need a website, right? We've been
Mm.
operating XYZ for 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And now where are they?
Mm.
Right? They got completely beaten out by the tile company next door that started a website.
Yeah, yeah. That
Yeah.
makes sense. All right. So I was wondering also like how's the pricing model looks like when you're working with like those enterprise clients?
Right. Yeah, perfect. So we use like a per minute pricing model. Okay, that's kind of the norm, right? There's
What does that
also
mean?
like an onboarding fee, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if it's a very intimate relationship, and
Hmm.
we're going to be building out things for them, of course, there's going to be an onboarding investment associated
Got
there.
it.
And that covers like development,
Got it.
integrations, the work
Wow.
needed, everything like that, right? Usually takes about 2 to 6 weeks, depending
Got
on
it.
complexity. But
Got
it
it.
really just depends on all the different things on the back end.
Got it. So what do you mean by permanent pricing? Because I haven't heard of it before.
Oh no! I didn't. It was per minute. Well, not permanent, per minute.
Per minute.
Yes,
Oh,
yeah,
my
not
bad,
per.
my bad.
Yeah,
I was like, I thought,
we,
yeah, I
we
thought it was a
charge you
permanent.
forever.
Yeah, yeah. My bad. So per
Yeah,
minute, right?
we actually came in at a high rate in the beginning for our per minute just because we were doing a white glove service. So we're
Yeah,
taking care of our clients from beginning to end, walking them through it.
yeah.
But we're actually cutting that down by a lot just because we know that as the price go down and the LLMs and all the frameworks, our price goes down
Yeah,
too. So we're in
yeah,
the process of lowering our prices down dramatically.
Yep.
yeah. So basically, you guys are charging onboarding fee where you guys are like figuring out like all the needs and all the system that
Mhm.
need to be implemented
Yep.
when working together, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And after that, after implementing it, you guys are making recurring revenue based on the call minutes, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Mhm.
100%. And it's dynamic. So as soon as it becomes more affordable
Yeah,
for us, it becomes more affordable for them.
that makes sense.
Mhm.
And if you don't mind me asking, like how much do you charge per minute
Yeah, so
regularly?
initially it was 50 cents a minute, but now we're getting
Okay.
down to like the 20 cents a minute range just because the
Wow.
prices are going down. And that still includes the white glove service, so it isn't something that we just say, okay, we're going to charge you and leave you and never come back and you're on your own.
Hmm. Hmm.
So we want to work with our clients, especially enterprise clients, as we all know, you got to get out there and touch them and feel them and answer
Hmm.
questions and do all that kind of fun stuff.
Got it. Got it. That's interesting. And if you don't mind me asking, like, what's the roughly monthly revenue range?
Go ahead, Josh.
I was just curious. The range. I think
Josh,
you're
can you hear
muted,
me?
Josh. You're muted, Josh.
Oh, I think his headset might have died out. I figure I might let the big man go ahead and give you the hard numbers, right?
Sorry, can you say it one more time? My headset just died, so.
Yeah, so like I was wondering like what's your roughly monthly revenue range, if you don't mind me asking? You don't need to answer it. Yeah.
No, that's fine. That's actually kind of hard to answer just because a lot of the companies that we work with,
Mhm.
especially our enterprise clients, they contractually hold us to an NDA. So I can't really
Oh,
share the
got
exact
it.
numbers, but
Got it.
what I can say is we're working with six enterprise clients right now,
Okay,
and
active.
onboarding each of those probably tens of thousands of dollars per. So,
Hmm.
you can kind of get a rough estimate about basically what's going on. We're also
Hmm.
expanding. So, it's been pretty exciting to see the level of growth and
Yeah,
demand
yeah.
we're
Yeah.
getting. But yeah, it's a
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
good range, to be honest.
Hmm. That's good. That's good. So for your onboarding, when you're onboarding like enterprise clients, you're charging above 10K for that onboarding
Yeah, it can range.
process.
It could be on the low end. It could be
Hmm.
a couple $1,000s, $10,000. It could be $50,000. It really depends on the
Hmm.
complexity and how long it takes.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's how turnkey of
Yeah,
an
yeah.
agent do you want, right? Are we going MVP
Hmm.
here? Just you're working
Hmm.
inbound, one language, and it's
Hmm.
just say low-hanging fruit like
Hmm.
pre-qualification, right, of
Hmm.
your clients? Or is it something way more complex that needs
Hmm.
HIPAA compliance, a BAA signed, both
Hmm.
inbound and outbound, and a
Hmm.
full knowledge base, right? Then
Got
it
it.
can definitely start to go up from there.
Got it. Got it. That makes sense. All right. And also, I was wondering, what's your best performing offer or sales strategy?
Okay, yeah, I can probably come in here.
Yeah, yeah.
Josh is so the great thing about voice AI and just kind of honestly AI in general, man, is that a lot of people are already kind of paying attention to it. It's the hot thing right now.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
new, it's exciting, it's game changing, it's also kind of spooky
Yeah,
at
yeah.
times. So when businesses they do reach out to us, it's usually past the whole what is this kind of thing
Hmm.
stage. It's more
Hmm.
focused
Yeah.
on okay, how does it work? How can
Hmm.
we implement it into our
Hmm.
business, right? We already know this stuff is going to take over like Skynet, so we want to make sure that we're on the good side of the robots when that does happen, right?
Hmm.
So That makes sense. Our sales process is pretty unique.
Mhm.
Instead of trying to sell them on the concept, which doesn't really need to
Got it.
happen anymore, we're
Got
really
it.
just having a conversation about, all right, what do you want it to do?
Hmm.
What are your use cases? What are you envisioning? And then
Hmm.
how can we help?
Yeah, yeah. I see, I see.
Mhm.
So like you say, like most people are already at least are aware of this voice AI kind of stuff, and well, they know it's kind of exciting, and they just need to figure out if it's the right solution in their business, if they can see the
Yeah,
right ROI in their business, right?
yeah.
And
I
that's your
would say,
job to persuade them, right?
yeah, well, I mean, not really. That's kind of what it says. Not anything with a phone, just like IVR and like, those certain kind of answering machine services,
Mhm.
every single person has those now, right?
Yes, yes.
So these dynamic voice agents, it's just the future. It is, I mean, in our opinion, it is the future of customer communications,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Because especially for a company in terms like on an overhead standpoint, no pee breaks, no
Mm,
picking up your kids because one of them punched another kid in school, right?
mm,
No lunches, none of that stuff. And it's consistent every single time. It doesn't miss any information on a call. It
mm,
asks everything it's supposed to ask and it gets the information that you're supposed to get every single time, right? So consistency,
mm,
efficiency, anything at all that uses a phone will eventually be using these things.
mm,
Even your mom and pop dog washing company right down
mm,
the street is going to be
mm,
using voice AI to schedule appointments. That's what we're doing.
That makes sense. That makes sense. All right. And what are the biggest bottlenecks in your business?
Go ahead, Josh. You can take this one.
Yeah, that's a good question. Okay, no. Yeah, that's a good question. So right now, the biggest bottleneck that we're seeing is just trying to find top tier developers. I mean, that's honestly the
Mm,
biggest problem we're happening in the
mm,
industry right now because
mm.
it's a relatively new space and there
Yeah,
just aren't a lot of seasoned developers. There's a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
junior developers, which is great, but we're actually looking for a more senior level to help us out. And
Mm,
it's a lot more than just prompt engineering and basic front end stuff. We really
mm,
are focusing a lot of attention on back end development. So there's a lot of great talent out there, but it's hard to
mm,
find those people. It's hard to get them consistent, and that's been the biggest challenge. So I know
mm,
we're actively working to expand in that area, and and as the technology continues to evolve, we're hoping to bring in more senior developers and
mm.
help us scale. But that's honestly been our biggest bottleneck.
All right, that makes sense. That's interesting because like if I ask this question to any agency, most of them are talking about like lead gen. It's
Mhm.
very hard to find clients and stuff, but you guys are already like crushing it in terms of getting clients. So yeah,
Exactly, it's backwards for
yeah,
us.
yeah,
The
backwards
YouTube
like it's,
algorithms help, right? The YouTube gods definitely help out with
yeah,
AI
yeah,
being a 100% trending topic. So that
yeah,
definitely helps out too.
yeah, yeah. But like still like a lot of agencies are struggling to just like get on the call with the prospect. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So yeah, that's really cool. And maybe I can help you guys out in terms of building great solutions. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
right? That might be a
yeah.
perfect intro.
Yeah, yeah. So let me know if you need anything.
Yeah.
Because I've
Definitely.
been doing this for like, 2 years, 3 years. So, you know, let me know.
Yeah, I love that,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
It's turned into an interview so
yeah,
fast.
yeah. And yeah, let's talk about chat dash right now. So what problem were you trying to solve when you first found chat dash?
Josh?
Honestly, I can actually go for this. So when we started doing our action to call, one of the biggest problems we had in the beginning was how are we going to sell this to our client in a white label type of sense? So
Mm-hmm,
we were looking for if we found a framework, how we're going to find a white label to be able to sell this to our clients and maybe possibly to their clients.
mm-hmm,
So we actually tested competitors out there and honestly, we weren't happy with results at all. We weren't getting anything to the level that we would expect that we wanted and what our clients would want. A
mm-hmm,
lot of them had really expensive upfront charges. Some of them required high level account. I mean, we love high level. We use high
mm-hmm.
level ourselves, but we didn't necessarily want to have that as a requirement. And they were just clunky. The
Mm-hmm.
UIs weren't very good. They're hard to
Yeah,
use. So
yeah.
that's when we found Chat Dash. Our
Mm-hmm.
lead engineer reselling was actually the one that found you guys Chat
Oh.
Dash.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, all you need is a retail AI account. The pricing is really good. The
Mm-hmm.
UI is great. I love your guys' UI.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes white labeling really, really easy for us.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
just, it's one less thing we have to worry about.
That's awesome. And what kind of like other solutions did you try out before ChatDash? Specifically, yeah.
That's a good question. We really didn't try any other solutions, to be honest
Mm,
with you. We found
mm,
you guys, and we were really lucky. We found you guys, and or Reese did. I mean, really quickly into the
mm,
process. I would say
mm,
within about 48 hours, we actually found your guys. We
mm.
jumped on it. We started
Wow.
testing it.
Mm,
Found out it was great. Didn't
mm,
need any requirements. You guys
yeah.
had a great price, and there's no headaches. And honestly, it was
Mm,
a no-brainer. It was like, okay,
mm.
let's use these guys.
All right, that makes sense. That makes sense. Did you like also like consider like building your own solution, own dashboard from scratch yourself?
Honestly, we did, yeah. But the problem was we had so many moving pieces at the time
Yeah.
from trying to set up our own foundation of sales
Mm,
and processes.
mm,
Yeah.
And we had Reese
mm,
doing other development work. We just did not have time to be able to
mm,
lay down the finances, honestly, to build
mm,
something like what you guys do. I mean, we're talking, $100,000 project at least to get going with what you guys are doing. And why do that when we have something amazing like your guys' service? Why
mm.
why buy the cow when you can get the milk?
Yeah, yeah. That makes so much
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, so like I'm very happy to hear that because that's the exact point of Chatdash. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I see a lot of people like starting agencies, but like they face this problem where it's impossible to share agent performance and analytics to their clients under their branding. You know what I mean? So unless you share your retail AI, which is not desirable. So
No, not at all.
yeah, not at all. So like that's why we built Chatdash and you guys are seeing that value. So I'm very happy with it. Yeah. So this is for our audience, and so because like they don't know about Chatdash, so
Sure.
can you just briefly like go over like how do you actually use in your business? Which part of your business are getting benefit out of? Yeah.
Yeah, I can answer that. The biggest, honestly, the biggest ROI that we get from using Chat Dash is just
Mm-hmm.
utilizing the white label and reporting analytics services.
Mm-hmm.
So to be able to go back to our clients and have them log into a white label service where they can see all the transcripts and they can
Mm-hmm.
see how many minutes they've used and even down to the point of how much it costs that we can price out, so they're not seeing the actual framework cost, they're seeing the cost that comes in after our white label service.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's helping us tremendously. We're working with international manufacturing company, and they have to see transcripts, they have to see how many minutes they use, they want to see the audio for testing factors. So it's basically a game changer because
Mm-hmm.
it's not just the international manufacturing company, it's they're introducing us to their 5,000 plus clients they have across the country. So the
Mm-hmm.
opportunity that this creates for us is massive. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the amount of money that we're spending with you guys to the amount of money we can get on our return on investment could be
Mm-hmm.
it could be honestly 5,000 fold.
I probably need to increase my pricing.
Wait,
Not too much.
wait, relax.
Yeah, but like yeah, I'm just happy with that because you guys are getting so much value depending on the cost you're using, cost you're paying to us. So
Mhm.
I really like it, and yeah, I'm happy to hear that kind of testimonials. Yeah, and this is another question. It kind of sounds like pretty repetitive, but like just a different point of view. So if someone took Chatdash away today, what would break in your business?
Okay, yeah, I can totally come in here too, right? So,
Yeah, yeah, please.
Definitely.
look, first off, I definitely hope that that never happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna lay the groundwork there. We definitely be scrambling. Like kind of we mentioned earlier, there really aren't any solid alternatives
Mhm.
out there right now that kind of offer what Chat Dash does, what you created here, and losing it would put us in a, look, man, in a pretty crappy spot, right? But
Mhm.
at the same time, it just highlights how critical Chat Dash really is to our business and what it's become is something very, very essential when it comes to all of our operations, man.
Mhm.
Especially for enterprise clients who rely on accurate reporting and analytics. It is just it's a lifesaver. It is an absolute
Mhm.
lifesaver for us. So
Mhm.
Definitely.
keep it going, okay?
All right.
Don't
Yeah, we
don't take it
will. Yeah.
away.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we would be in a world of pain.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Like we're growing and we're making money these days.
Awesome.
So yeah.
We figured as much, man.
Yeah, yeah. And my next question would be for my viewers, if you had to start over, what would you do differently? What's one mistake that cost you time or money?
This is going to be great for Josh because I'm still newer. Josh has been here. He's the OG, right? I got here maybe,
Yeah,
Yeah.
a year
I
ago.
definitely could answer that. I mean, from running a business myself for for 15 years and before that running other businesses, you definitely can count the mistakes on all your fingers and toes that you learn from.
Yeah.
But I mean, the biggest mistake that we've learned jumping into AI is honestly finding that framework to build on, finding that company like a retail AI or your guys' service for white labeling.
Mhm.
So, we actually started doing research and to voice AI in early
Oh.
early 2022. So we were kind of new to the game because we had
Mhm.
clients who were in the call center BPO industries that were kind of starting to realize, oh, we better start doing some of this AI service, especially voice,
Mhm.
because we might
Mhm.
be out of business, which some of these unfortunately call centers are
Mhm.
going out of business because of. So it's not like we were late to the game, but we had a really hard time finding that partner because back in
Mhm.
2022, there honestly wasn't anyone that we had enough faith in to use. I mean, you had like
Mhm.
SynthFlow and Bland, and then you started having Vappy and that type of services. It didn't do exactly what we wanted it to do.
Mhm.
So 2022 to 23, we just didn't feel like we were able to market a service that we could offer to our clients
Mhm.
that would, cost them or save them money and also
Mhm.
time.
Mhm.
But thankfully we found retail AI relatively early in the process, by the way. We were one of
Mhm.
the early adopters to retail
Yeah.
AI. And we found you guys. And that
Mhm.
retail AI and chat dash combination is an
Mhm.
absolute home run.
Mhm.
We really cannot run our stuff without that framework and that
Mhm.
white labeling service. It
Mhm.
is unbelievably important for us to work
Mhm.
with you guys.
All right. All right. So my follow question would be, so you were trying to find a solution to build great voice AI agents, and you're trying to find some good agent building platform like you tried Vappy, Synfluent on Bland, right?
We tried everything. I mean, you can name it all down the list. We've tried every single one.
And I was wondering, like, why did you choose retail over everything else?
One of the biggest things we chose retail is we like the UI. We love the call tool functions. We love the after call functions because we look at things from a development side. And
Okay.
something that Vappy lacked a little bit was the back-end development aspects where we can add stuff into our systems. They were more plug and play type of stuff. We do more coding as a company since we're developers. We don't really rely on make.com or 8n8 or Zapier and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We build our own systems and we
Mm-hmm.
utilize servers just for integrity purposes and pricing purposes.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was the big thing that helped us look at retail. And we thought that retail was a great choice because they're one of the first guys to jump into multi-state prompting, which is really important
Multi-state,
for
yeah.
us and yeah, for certain industries. And
Mm-hmm.
now that they're doing conversational flow, that's really going to help us work with enterprise clients because there's going to be when you're working with enterprise client and you're dealing with 500,000, a million minutes, 2 million minutes, they're
Mm-hmm.
really
Wow.
wanting to have a great service, but there's certain ways they want to save money. And if you can get to utilizing GPT 4.0 on certain situations, but if you can do mini on other situations, lower that price
Mm-hmm.
down just by a little bit
Got
per
it.
node to answer
Got
simple
it.
questions and then
Mm-hmm.
go back to the GPT-O,
Mm-hmm.
just that small price saving when you're dealing with a million plus minutes, these enterprise
Mm-hmm.
people are really sticklers about how can I have the quality, but how can I
Mm-hmm.
lower that price as much as possible?
Mm-hmm.
So retail allows us to do that. And plus they're always adding new features. I mean,
Yeah.
they're coming out within a couple weeks or so. They're coming out with new analytics and reporting
Mm-hmm.
system that's coming into their system, which is going to be really interesting. But just the updates that they're doing, and they're very
Mm-hmm.
quick to update their pricing. So when GPT 4.5 comes out, I thought it was going to come this week, but maybe next week,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 4.0 and 4.0 mini is going to see a price decrease
Yep.
also.
That makes sense. That makes so much sense.
Great for the consumer, man.
Yeah, yeah. So I think retail AI has like three different types of agents in their platform, right? Just like single prompt and multi-state and
Mm-hmm.
conversation flow they just released, right?
Yep.
And I was wondering how how much do you use like single prompt agent?
I can actually come in on this. We actually use single prompt agents a pretty large majority of the time,
Oh, that's
right?
great.
As you move up to multi-state and even conversation flow, what you gain an advantage on that sense, and I'm sure Josh can piggyback off of me here, is control, right?
Mm-hmm.
So single
Yeah.
state is very open-ended, right? It's really great for, back and forth conversations, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But once you are dealing with these really huge enterprise kinds of
Mm-hmm.
clients, not only, of course, are they focused on large amounts of, to a large degree overhead, but also
Mm-hmm.
to a large degree control. right? Those
Got
calls
it.
need to be controlled to a very, very
Mm,
high degree, and that conversation
mm.
flow absolutely helps with that.
So like basically like more control over conversation flow itself. And also there's a huge room for reducing cost overall, right? So like for the like specific type of node, we don't need like a very smart LLM, you know what I
Yep,
mean?
exactly.
So that's where you can reduce cost a lot when it comes to deploying it to enterprise clients. Because like there's like a huge number of calls every
Mhm.
single day. So that's why
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, like honestly, like I think I'm building voice AI agents for my couple of clients as well. And I see like most of the cases, a single prompt agent is just sufficient to do the job for the single use cases. So that's why I use single prompt.
Yeah,
But to be honest, like I haven't used multi-state or conversation flow right now, but yeah, hopefully in the future I can try it out and see
you'll know when
what.
you need to.
Yeah,
You'll
when
know
I
when
need
you
to.
need to.
Yeah, when I need.
Your mindset is perfect about that. It's sufficient enough. Why overcomplicate it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Why overcomplicate it?
yeah.
Yeah, it's great that it's there, but like I said, like Dave was saying, most of our clients we probably can use single state. And it's all about, control and focus and not overdoing it. The one of the biggest things we see when we go into clients accounts that are already using retail, sometimes we'll offer support, we'll come in and help them fix things, is that they'll overdo things, they'll over prompt engineer, they'll
Mm-hmm.
get it's so complicated that it will become redundant, it'll cause
Mm-hmm.
issues, there'll be errors, there'll be hallucinations, they don't add guardrails. So just focus on, remember, this is a conversational AI. Talk to it like it's a conversational AI. Don't
Mm-hmm.
talk to it like it's a robot, like you need to, instead of going in there and creating a thousand different lines of trying to have it act like someone, just tell it to act like someone. Dave has a great
Mm-hmm.
line where he talks about, utilizing a sales personality. Just say, hey, I want you to act like this person who, and then this is who they are. Don't write a 1,000 line
Mm-hmm.
code basically
Mm-hmm.
explaining who that person is. Just tell them, hey,
Mm-hmm.
this is who this is. Act like
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
And it's
yeah.
amazing because the LLM can actually do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, knows. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that line? It's one single prompt, and it's just, I would like you to emulate the style, personality, and tone of Alex Hormozy and Jeremy Minor.
Yeah.
Wash
That's
your
it.
hands.
Done.
It's taken care of,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So really, really amazing stuff like that. And kind of on the back of what Joshua was saying is like, yeah, people big brain this thing a little too hard,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Me being from like, I still like video games, right? Still I have fun creating my own custom GPTs so I can play Dungeons and Dragons by myself since because I don't actually have friends because I have a
Mm-hmm.
children and a wife now, right? So even though, but I don't have a developer background, and it's
Mm-hmm.
actually made things 10 times easier for me. And it's
Mm-hmm.
also given me the ability to, even funny enough, bring insights to people that like
Mm-hmm.
our lead engineer who went to college at 12, right?
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And then I'm a college dropout.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's like, dude, this Alex Hood, like this invoking a personality thing is like a cheat code. I'm like, I just did it and it just worked.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
Yeah.
know?
yeah. So, so LLM nowadays are really smart
Yeah.
Very.
to like understand like natural language more than most of the people, I would say. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I think it's really interesting to see the rapid growth of the LLM space. You know what I mean? Yeah. So this is more like a advice kind of thing. What's something every AI agency should be doing right now? It's kind of broad, but
Yeah,
hopefully,
go ahead.
yeah.
I think the best thing to do is just focus on utilizing the technology that's here. Always keep an open mind of where the technology is going to be, and
Mm-hmm.
just try to find that customer, that industry, that niche that you think that would utilize the technology of conversational voice AI. Think about call flow, think about call volume, think about pain points, think about places like dental offices or services like plumbers or realtors or even companies like in healthcare where they're generating a lot of inbound and outbound numbers
Mm-hmm.
that have a lot of overhead. They're spending a lot of money outsourcing or even insourcing to their own
Mm-hmm.
company and spending a lot of money and find flows that you can utilize AI to take those calls away so they can be
Mm-hmm.
more efficient
Mm-hmm.
and problem solving and customer service, and even from the smallest answering a phone to Q&A
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to large enterprise questions. I think that's the biggest thing people need to focus on. Find that need and then help them.
Mm-hmm.
Find that pain point and resolve that
Mm-hmm.
pain point for them.
Mm-hmm. So just talk to business owner and just ask them questions about the need in
Yeah,
their
and
in
and
their
the great thing
phone.
And the great
Yeah.
thing about AI is that this is such a great and amazing new technology. The media has already caught up with it. There's so many huge, large corporations. You
Mm,
don't really have to sell this too much. They understand what AI is. They hear it. They're
mm,
hearing it constantly.
mm,
We get a
mm,
lot of people, instead of saying, "Can you tell me what it is?" to "Can you tell me how I can use this for my business?" That's where we
mm,
come in. That's why we call it
mm.
a soft sell. You're not explaining what it is. You're explaining how it can help you.
All right. That makes so much sense. Yeah. So this is a very interesting question. If you had 30 seconds to convince a skeptical business owner to use AI agents, what would you say? 30 seconds elevator pitch to me.
Oh, that's a Dave question.
Gotcha.
Let's go, Dave.
And what was it, 30 seconds to convince a skeptical agency owner to use AI agents?
Yep,
Not agency owners. Like think of me
businesses.
as your prospect.
Yeah, look, it's a huge time saver and it's the future. Soon we're going to be living in a time where AI agents are speaking to other AI agents. And just like with the dot-com boom and just like even with the crypto boom, if you don't act fast, you will get left behind. We have too many examples at this point. And not to mention, we live in a no-code society now. So it's not supposed to be daunting. Get in there, it's a playground, have fun. You can speak to it like you speak to your brother and simply watch magic happen. And here's the cool thing, everyone needs it. Everyone with a phone, and every
Mm.
business has a phone.
Wow, that was awesome. Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah.
It's just a
Actually,
bet, right? That's all it
yeah,
is.
Yeah.
actually, it is. Yeah. And my next question would be, this is interesting as well. Where do you see AI automation agency in 3 years, considering all this
Huh.
like rapid development of AI?
Yeah, that's gonna be one of those impossible predictions type of scenarios. I mean, our lead developer, Reese, he always jokes around when someone always says, when's this new feature gonna be released? What's gonna happen here? He always says, wait a week, because things are moving so fast. And like Dave was saying, I mean, AI is going to be talking to AI. I mean, they're already doing research studies about
Mm,
how AI can create its own telephonic voice that
mm,
they're literally talking back and forth, and the human can't hear it, but the bots are going
mm,
back and forth and communicating with each other. Honestly, the sky's the limit. I mean, who would have thought that within 6 months to a year that
mm,
OpenAI would have what 300 million active daily users
mm,
in that few amount of time? And
mm,
now we're seeing all the other LLMs like Claude and Gronk and Anthropic, and now you're seeing DeepSeek come out. I mean,
mm,
who's going to be the next one to come out? So
mm,
really, the sky's the limit. I mean, the way
mm,
technology is evolving, three
mm,
years. I
mm,
mean, I can't even imagine what it's going to
mm,
look like.
Yeah.
Things are just moving so fast.
Yeah. It's like, think
mm.
about it this way too. It's like kind of like what Josh was saying, who knew that Bitcoin would be $100,000 right now?
Yeah.
Right? Who knew
Mm,
that you would never ever be able to even think about starting a business if you didn't have some kind of website or
mm,
front end or social
mm,
media? I
mm,
think a great thing to invoke at this point would be Moore's Law. It's very much like Moore's Law 2, 4, 8,
mm,
16, and it's even faster nowadays. So 3 years now, man, imagine what things will look like 30 years from now, and that's
mm.
probably going to be happening in 3 years.
All right, that makes sense. But like, what would you say to some of the objections where maybe AI is getting better and better, so much faster, where it wipes out the needs of agency itself? I've heard like some of the concerns about it as well. It's like AI
Here's what
agents are getting better and better, so why don't just business owners just talk to an AI agent that does everything that agency can do?
It's true, right? I mean, like, look, we're not there yet,
Yeah.
okay? And I'm not AI just yet. It's still
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
okay? And I think we're still, look, things will get leaner, just like every other industry experiences, right?
Mm,
Like, we don't have our mom and pop inside of a Ford factory putting
mm,
together a Model T Ford piece by piece anymore. And that's just
mm,
fine because it evolved into more, technological kind
mm,
of workspaces. So
mm,
the job market will evolve as it always does. Is just, are
mm.
you prepared or not?
Okay. All right. That makes sense. All right. So my last question would be, would you recommend Chatdash to other agency owners? Why or why not?
Go ahead, Josh.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we actively recommend Chat Dash to
Yeah.
just about every single person we talk to. White labeling is probably minus price and development costs, the number one question we ask. can we white label this? How can we get the best price, and how can we sell our services under your guys' services? We're like, well, you can't, but here's Chat Dash, and then we'll explain, like we explained to you how we utilize it. We explain to them how they utilize it. So we
Hmm.
probably get anywhere from 30 to 50 discovery calls a week, and we're
Wow.
probably actively recommending you guys probably 15, 20 times. So I
Hmm.
mean, so yeah, 100% recommend. It's
Hmm.
you guys have definitely become an essential part of how we deliver our services.
That's awesome. But like, how do you book 50 calls a week? Like, how do you like generate leads?
It's all about marketing.
How?
We're very active right now on our LinkedIn marketing. We're pushing that really
LinkedIn.
hard.
Got it.
So, we have a premium account on LinkedIn marketing. We're utilizing marketing services from certain companies like Linked Elf, Linked Helper. We use some of these third-party services to basically use automation tools to reach out to clients under various niches and to just
Got it.
introduce ourselves and
Hmm.
and and create communication. And then
Oh.
we're doing a little bit of Facebook marketing. It's not working out so great just because I think the market on Facebook is so saturated with AI. They're just
Hmm.
getting bombarded by everybody. But I think
Hmm.
LinkedIn is a really good way to get to that main
Oh.
decision maker, that business owner. That person's going to say,
Hmm.
okay, yeah, let me get more information. So yeah, we're killing LinkedIn right now. That's probably one of our biggest revenue sources.
Yeah,
Got it.
and this might
So,
not be a popular answer to, sorry to
mhm.
interrupt you, but ad spend. Like, look, there's a business concept that's like if you offer the same exact service as your competitor, what do you do to beat them? Get seen more. It's really it.
Hmm.
Right? So when you A/B test and you find out what works, you just got to start pouring money into it and
Mhm.
trust that it will come back, right?
Mhm.
And that's why people
Mhm.
still spend $10,000 a month on a billboard on the highway. Like
Yeah.
that
All
works?
right.
The answer
Mhm.
is yes. It
Mhm.
does work.
Mhm.
That's why
That's
people
why
still
they're
do
paying,
it.
right? That's why they're paying and put
Exactly,
that there,
exactly,
right?
right? So if you can
Yeah.
outmarket your competition, you win. It doesn't even
Mhm.
matter if you have a crappier service. If
Mhm.
you outmarket your competition, you win.
All right. So you guys are doing like, so you were talking about the outside vendors who are offering like LinkedIn marketing services. Is that like an automation tool for like cold outreach, or is it something else?
Yeah, no, it's an automation tool. So Linked Elf is an example of a LinkedIn automation tool that's web-based. So they basically have a UI backend where you tell them what niches you want to target,
Got it.
what type of title that person is. You can
Mm-hmm.
create an initial message, a second message, a third message. Something like Linked Helper, something you download to your computer,
Mm-hmm.
but it can run multiple instances. So you can have one, two, three, four, five
Oh.
different person running on it. I just use
Mm-hmm.
it for myself because I just want myself to be the main person who reaches out to these
Mm-hmm.
people. So it's very flexible. So it's cloud based, or it can also be like a linked helper where you
Mm-hmm.
just download to your computer, let it run 24/7.
So like how many messages do you send outbound per
So
weekly? Yeah, weekly base.
yeah, so LinkedIn, they limit how many contacts you can make every single week. I think it's like 400 or 500. So the base
Got
you get capped at 500 new connections, and
it.
then
Mm-hmm.
from there you just message people. I do it like every 3 or 4 days. I don't want to bombard them with messages, and I use a spinner, so I'm not sending the same message over and over and over. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just trying to connect with them in a way that might be
Mm-hmm.
interesting to them. I give them examples of why we might want to contact, and once they
Got
do
it.
connect with me,
Mm-hmm.
then there's that unlimited messages you can send back and forth. And I use
Got
I
it.
use Linked Helper to send those messages to them. It works quite well.
Got it. Got it. All right. And also like Dave mentioned the ad spend as well. So are you running any paid ads on LinkedIn too?
Yeah, we actually started doing that a couple of weeks ago. Their pricing is a little bit expensive. It's definitely a lot more expensive than Facebook. I'm not seeing a huge return on investment yet, but it's a
Mm-hmm.
relatively new market for us. I mean, we
Mm-hmm.
come from a digital marketing background.
Mm-hmm.
I was the regional manager for a national lead generation company for about 10 years. So I do have marketing experience. I understand how digital marketing works.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that when you're first starting out, just like Facebook marketing, you start out a little bit slow just to find out if there's something you can hit, some kind of niche that looks good. If it
Mm-hmm.
is, expand, rinse and repeat. We just haven't got to that rinse and repeat yet, but I
Mm-hmm.
think we'll
Yeah, yeah.
eventually get there.
Yeah, yeah. So once you like find the working creative or working whatever the message, you're gonna
Yep,
be like doubling down on that, right? But you're just like
exactly.
testing it out right now.
Yeah, we're
Mm-hmm.
doing very small little
Mm-hmm.
tests. We're
Mm-hmm.
we're kind of duplicating what we're doing organically with the LinkedIn helpers, the
Got it.
automation, And
Yeah,
if that
yeah.
works good, we'll just expand from there.
Yeah, yeah. And that like paid ads stuff in LinkedIn is basically like promotion message, right? Right?
Yep,
It's not,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Got it.
Yeah, and they're
Is there
pretty
any,
powerful.
is there anything like content promotion kind of thing that once you upload posts, like boost this post kind of thing? Are you
We
doing
have
that?
actually, yeah, we haven't really used that too much.
Mhm.
We pretty much just use LinkedIn for the in mail and
Mhm.
that kind of stuff, and just kind of
Got it,
pushing
got
some
it.
of our
Mhm.
messages higher up.
Mhm.
And besides the LinkedIn paying, we're really trying to push a lot of content out there,
Mhm.
showing case studies, showing
Mhm.
examples, showing how we're working with industries, and just I'll manually go out there and connect with people that I
Mhm.
find interesting, and sometimes they'll be interested in
Mhm.
what I
All
have to
right.
offer, and just
All
kind of
right.
connect from there. So it's
Mhm.
it's very organic too.
All right. So I'm very interested in like how do you actually craft your like message, outreach message and the sequence as well. So would you be comfortable like sharing any kind of like template or something that other
Mhm.
people can use so I can, basically give free value to our users, if you don't mind?
Yeah, no, I can definitely send that over to you. I do have the cool thing about Linked Helper and like Linked Up also is that you can create basically a flow, a marketing flow. And you
Mm-hmm.
can dictate the delays and what you
Mm-hmm.
want it to do in regards to message and what message you
Yeah.
send out.
Mm-hmm.
You can even send those contacts if you can grab an email address, because some people have front-facing email addresses on LinkedIn. You can actually
Mm-hmm.
pull that right into Go High Level, so you can have those contacts in there.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll
Mm-hmm.
pull their email address, pull their phone number. So I'll send a message out. I'll connect with them. I'll send them a couple messages of what we do. Would you like a book an appointment? And then
Mm-hmm.
about an hour later, we'll have our AI actually call them out and say, give them a phone call, or we'll have one of our
Mm-hmm.
salespeople give them a phone call and just say, hey, we just left you a
Mm-hmm.
message. We sent you a message on LinkedIn. Are you interested? And you just kind of go
Mm-hmm.
from there. So we're using
Mm-hmm.
multiple tools to get that, but I'll definitely send that over to you. Yeah, no problem.
That'll be awesome. That'll be awesome. Because like yeah, it's like I'm creating this video for my YouTube channel and I
Mhm.
wanna put as much as value to our users, our viewers as well. So if you can send them over to me, like it would be so much more value. We can
Oh
have
yeah,
this in
yeah, I
content. Yeah.
definitely will. It's quite helpful.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think that's it from my side. So do you have
Okay.
any other questions or like any feature requests when you're using it in Chatdash?
No,
Oh yeah,
honestly, no, not really. I mean, it's working out perfect for us.
got it.
We're in the process of onboarding a bunch of clients, and we're
Mm-hmm.
definitely going to be getting them on Chat Dash. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
as you know, with development, it takes a while. So, we'll get a client and he'll pay the money up front, but it's like, okay, it could take 6 weeks, it could take 8 weeks. So it's like a point of we got a lot of these going right now. It's just a matter of just getting them to the point
Mm-hmm.
where, okay, we're done with the
Mm-hmm.
project. Let's get them on Chat Dash and let's get
Yeah,
going.
yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's definitely coming.
Got it, got
It's a
it.
lot of work, work in the beginning, and then it pays
Mm-hmm.
off in the end. So, but we're getting
Yeah.
very close to that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. And just like feel free to let me know if you have anything on your mind, any future cast or any kind of recommendations. And yeah, I think that's it from my side.
Cool. Yeah, sounds perfect. Thanks for having us. Really appreciate it.
I appreciate that as well. And